We are live, and we are joined in studio with Drew Larson, and we're going to talk about Facebook and negative comments. But first, negative comments. You know what I'm going to talk about?
Scandal with the Applebee's.
It's not safe to eat out.
Well, you know, things are happening in Applebee's, and I just found out about this yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So
because the press release came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Official press release.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys don't know what this is, what happened? Some guy, he left a
girl,
or was it a girl?
It was a preacher.
Okay.
A girl preacher.
Okay.
Yes.
It was a female preacher, I guess. And she left a little note. I mean, we don't even need to say that. I mean,
it's right there.
Never mind.
We're saying it.
There's the picture.
We're saying it. I'm taking it home.
They left a note on the receipt that said, because they were with a large group, I'm guessing, so they automatically add that 18%.
And a little backstory: if you're in a large party at a restaurant, they genuinely and normally add the tip.
Yeah, which is fine. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
You know, makes sense. I've never questioned that. So this girl, I guess, writes on there, I give God 10%. Mm-hmm. Why should I give you 18? You know, so kind of a jerk move on her part. You know?
I kind of was waiting to hear from her. I wanted to hear what she would have to say.
Yeah, but that's not even what's weird. That's not even the big story on this. You know, so the waitress gets the receipt, and she's like, I can't believe, like, they wrote this on there. Like, I've never had anything like that. And she shows a friend of hers who also is a waitress.
Uh-huh.
And so she takes a picture.
And then, hello, social media.
Hello, Facebook. Uploads that picture. And, you know, it's one thing that they uploaded the picture, but the person's name was clearly shown.
And the comment,
it's cropped out.
I cropped out.
Yeah, it's cropped out now. But the comment was clearly shown. The person's name was clearly shown. So then this whole internet debacle happened. You know, people started, it went viral, so to speak, very quickly. So people were really upset that how could you show this person's name?
Absolutely.
You know, and then there was anger probably mixed into it because of the actual comment written down.
Right.
But then what really was terrible, people were complaining to Applebee's about this.
I saw that, and I will tell you that's the part I don't understand, because Applebee's truly had no control over what happened.
Yeah, you know, and if Applebee's, in a perfect world, Applebee's could have, you know, access to every single employee's Facebook page. Could But
how many thousands?
Yeah, you know, they're responsible for thousands of people in this country and overseas. So, you know, in a perfect world, that would be awesome. But it's just not going to happen. You know, that's too much time for compliance issues and, you know, all of that.
Right.
So, you know, you can't blame. I don't blame Applebee's in any way.
I don't think I do either.
It was a dumb move by this waitress that took the picture.
What I really feel bad for Applebee's for is that they have to face this now. Do you know what I mean? They had to actually say, okay, we're going to make a public statement as to what happened.
Yeah.
Now, the outcry, a lot of what I was hearing was, oh, it's not safe to use a credit card. This is one incident. And the only reason that it really blew up is because of Facebook and their account, and then it gained notoriety, I think, on a couple news stations as well.
Yeah, you know, and I just wanted to make it clear that in my opinion, I don't think Applebee's did anything wrong here.
We're just hungry.
Yeah, you know, so they fully said, which I believe they said, every new employee that gets hired at Applebee's has a social media policy that they look at and they have to sign.
Which is why she was fired.
Exactly.
She admitted that it was wrong. She admitted what she did was wrong.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have happened, all that.
Yeah, so from the company's standpoint, Applebee's was doing everything right. I mean, we fully suggest that every company has a social media policy, you know, because if your employees have, you know, your brand name attached to their profiles, even if they say, you know, they have that excuse, all views are my own, not my company's.
Right.
I mean, do people really read that? Oh, okay, I'm not going to think about that anymore.
That's his view.
Yeah, you know, so we fully suggest that people have these social media policies and guidelines for their employees, which Applebee's did. You know, so I don't put them to blame
at all.
But
in real life, I mean, let's be honest. I think everybody needs to have that guideline with any account that you have.
And it was, I mean, everybody knows what happened. It was a weird thing that someone would write this rude comment.
Right.
Everybody, you know, in the restaurant was hustle and bustle, like freaking out about it. So they took it too seriously, and then.
But let's be honest. Even if you felt that way, saying it out loud is one thing, but writing it down.
Yeah. It was not a good thing.
No.
Like, there was literally nothing good about this story.
And so it kind of times back to your blog a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, with comments. Let's just say negative comments. It kind of tied into you a little bit.
Yeah, you know, this week's blog post was all about not just negative comments, but like just comments in general on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you start a Facebook page, you get so pumped when that first comment comes through, you know, because you know, the work you've put in through it, whether it's the design or, you know, the strategy behind status updates, all of that.
Or the photo of your Applebee's receipt.
Or that, you know, like it's finally paid off. Like somebody's actually looked at it and liked it enough to put a comment onto it. You know, so it's important to know that there's a right way and a wrong way to handle these Facebook comments coming in. So that's what the blog post is.
And we're going to dive into it right after this quick break.
Yeah.
Good and bad posts. It's all about the blog.
Yeah. So we're just talking about Facebook comments this week. You know, like last week, we have, you know, 3 main points to just the right way to handle Facebook comments. And obviously the first one, we call it answering the phone. But, you know, it's actually commenting back, you know, and, you know, that's what Facebook really has designed this to be. Someone writes a comment, then they've designed it, you know, comment back, talk to them. You know, like something I always say about this is turning a comment section into a chat room. You know, so just comment back to these people, whether it's a question or whether it's like, had a great, well, of course, I'm going to go to the restaurant analogy, but like had a great meal tonight.
At Applebee's.
At Applebee's, yes. The tip was perfect. You know, so even if it's a compliment, even if it's just a hello type of thing, make sure you're commenting back. You know, and people expect that thing.
Right. Responsibly.
Exactly. So we call it answer the phone because we also want to throw in that point of answer back as soon as you possibly can. You know, because people really, in society these days, people really are looking at this social media interaction as similar to a phone call. You know, so, and like we said the first week I was on the show with negative comments, I mean, if someone calls your company, I mean, you're racing to that phone as fast as you can to answer that phone call and maybe whatever's going on, you know. So you want to answer that as quickly as possible, and the same goes with Facebook comments. So that's the first point of the blog post.
And that's a good analogy. You wouldn't just leave the phone ringing.
Exactly. You know, and if it is I know people are always talking about negative comments, and it is if it's a negative comment, say someone says, I didn't have a good meal, or I give God 10%, what makes you think I'm going to give you 18? If that happens,
it may be my favorite thing that's happened so far this month.
It's early, but that's true. But I mean, if it is a negative comment, go back to that phone analogy. If someone calls your company and says, I didn't enjoy my service or your product,
you're going to fix it.
It's not going to be like, okay, bye. You know, I mean, you don't do that on the phone.
You don't?
We don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know.
In my world, sometimes no.
Someone calls, our newspaper was crumbled. Yeah, it's too bad. Bye. You know, it doesn't happen.
No,
you know, it doesn't happen.
You do whatever it takes to get that customer happy.
And and it shouldn't be any different on Facebook. You know, I don't care if you have to comment back for 30 minutes with this person. You do your best to make this right. And, you know, you do it, obviously, to gain that customer's respect. But then you do it more because people are watching. This thing is so out there that if people see you not commenting back, that looks so much worse than you commenting for 30 minutes with this person trying to make it happen, even if you can't resolve anything. That looks so much better from your brand standpoint than just not saying anything at all.
And step number 2?
Yeah, step number 2 is a little trick that a lot of people don't know. Is you can tag the person's name in a post. So let's say somebody comments back and you want to comment back to them, and you can actually start typing their name on Facebook, and a little icon of their Facebook profile is going to pop up. You click on that, and when you do that, they're going to get a notification sent to their, I guess, notification center or whatever Facebook calls it,
that
saying
world up there with the numbers on it.
Exactly. It's going to get a notification saying whatever your brand is mentioned you in a comment. So they're going to go back. You know, and so that's really important. It's a little trick that a lot of people don't know, and you know, it also keeps the comment section organized because if you're just answering back with nobody's name, and if there's a lot of comments, they don't know who you were replying back to here, or maybe they were saying this to them. I'm not sure what's going on.
It's still a good tip anyway, even if your Facebook page has tons of friends.
Exactly.
It's always good to know who you're talking to so that people aren't confused.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's the best part about it in my mind is it gets them to come back. That little notification, they're going to say, oh, they talked about me?
They cared about me.
They cared, they said my name. Okay, I'll go back and look.
Like Valentine's Day. You know, you care about my girlfriend? Oh.
Yes, exactly. So so it brings them back to the page, which is huge, because then that's when that comment section really gets turned into a chat room which is the whole point, in my opinion.
And you want your customers to feel good.
Exactly. Yeah.
And step number 3.
Yeah. Step number 3 is it goes along with number 2. It's ask. I don't want to say finish or answer their questions with a question, but continue the conversation. So let's say, go to a restaurant analogy. Somebody types on, Applebee's says, I really enjoyed your, I don't even know what they have, but Applebee's
baby
special.
Back ribs.
I really enjoyed your baby back ribs. Or is that Chili's? I thought they had the riblets. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Riblets, French fries.
Whatever. So I really enjoyed my pork product. Let's just call it that because we're not sure what type of pork
dipped in barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Everything's better with barbecue.
Comes from the ribs. Okay, we're okay.
I digress.
So I really enjoyed this. Thanks for a great meal. You comment back saying, glad you enjoyed your dinner. When will we see you next? So you end that comment with another question to bring them back. You know, so they're going to come back anyway because you've tagged their name,
right.
Point number 2. But then they're going to comment again because you've asked them another question. So that keeps that conversation going. It keeps them on your page longer, you know, and it keeps building that relationship because the conversation's going longer. So just keep that conversation going with another question.
Sure.
Or, you know, just drag it on a little bit more just so you can get them to come back to the page.
And drag it on's probably not the...
Well, yeah,
but,
yeah.
But engage, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you want them to feel like they're appreciated. Because truly, even in our business, every reader is important.
Yeah.
If they're not happy, we want to fix it.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem, call me, 452-0055.
Yes.
A little plug right there. Well, hey,
I need the flashing number on the screen.
Absolutely.
Right?
I appreciate you coming in because it's always exciting, something new that I learn every single time about what I should be doing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with Angels for Kids.